Hello everyone, Jeremy here, and in this video I am going to help you decide whether or not you should spend your hard-earned money on Bloodborne. Bloodborne being one of the hottest PlayStation 4 games available right now, and if you follow the world of video games, chances are you have heard a lot about this game. People are going crazy for it, but there is the question of whether this game suits your individual taste. So I'm going to share with you some of my personal experiences and help you decide whether this game is for you or not. So Bloodborne was brought to us by the same people who developed Demon's Souls and Dark Souls. And if you know a little bit about those games, you probably know that they are very hard. Not hard because they're unfair, but hard because they don't hold your hand. They punish your impatience and they punish you for being greedy. It's the type of game where even the most basic of enemies can kill you quickly if you are not on your guard and taking your time and thinking about each encounter before you go jumping headfirst into it. Regardless of how strong and how powerful you are, if you are a reckless player, any enemy in those games can kill you and kill you quickly, and the same thing holds true for Bloodborne. This is a game that is for those who want to stop and think and strategize before they enter into combat. This is not like Devil May Cry, this is not like God of War. Bloodborne is a game where you can only attack so many times because you have to pay particular attention to your endurance meter, your stamina meter. It's this little green bar that sits right underneath your health bar. Everything that you do, from evading to running to just swinging at the enemy, will take up a small portion of that stamina meter. So you just can't go swing and swing and swing like there's no tomorrow. If you do that, you will run into the situation where you can just kill the enemy if you can hit him one more time. But because your stamina meter has been depleted and you weren't paying attention to it, that enemy will instead hit you one or more times, and it could possibly kill you. And God help you if you're fighting more than one enemy. You have to pay attention to that kind of thing. It is not a game for those who want to be reckless. So what's the point in all this? What's the point of playing for and buying a game that really only appeals to a small portion of the population that has a masochistic side? And the answer is the reward factor. Bloodborne doesn't necessarily reward you and shower you with praise and gifts every time you do something right. The reward comes from you. You reward yourself. Let me give you an example. What you're seeing right now is an early boss fight, and this guy was very hard. I must have died about 20 times trying to kill this guy, but each time I died, I learned a little bit more. I started to employ strategies and use items that I didn't use before, like Molotov cocktails and throwing knives, anything that I could have done to give myself a slight edge. And as I whittled his health down more and more and more, I eventually used all of those things that I put together during the 20 times that I lost, and I finally beat him. And when I saw those words go across the screen that said I had defeated my prey, finally slaughtered, I was elated. My heart was beating fast. My hands were shaking a little bit. I was sweating a little bit. And I was so happy that I finally conquered the guy who was just wrecking me every step of the way. And from that point on, I became a smarter player. Enemies that I fought were easier from having learned from that boss fight. And that is what makes Bloodborne so rewarding. And all this that I'm telling you is not coming from a veteran Demon's Souls or Dark Souls player. I probably played about 15-20 minutes of Demon's Souls and never played it again, and I never played Dark Souls. I have really no experience with this kind of a game until I started playing Bloodborne. And I know that some people who sing the praises of this game in particular enjoy Demon's Souls and Dark Souls more than the normal person. I am coming from a position of neutrality, someone who just heard good things but never really tried it myself. And now that I am trying it myself, I can say that for me personally, I am getting into it. I don't find it to be so incredibly frustrating that I want to throw my controller and say I will never play this game again, because I know that going in, it is going to test me, and that's something that you have to know too. It will test you. It will test your patience. It will test your resolve. If that is something that you are not interested in, if you just want to sit back, put on some Spotify, and just not think about anything what you're doing and just kill people without ever having to employ any type of particular strategy, then this game is not for you. But if you're intrigued by the thought of playing a game for dozens of hours and uncovering a lot of secrets while the game kills you more times than you would ever care to admit, then Bloodborne is for you. This game does not hold your hand. It does not share a lot of the finer details with you, but it is accessible enough. The way that you level up is easy enough to understand. The limitations that you have on weapons and the way that you have to fight is very straightforward. The mechanics in and of themselves are not difficult to wrap your head around. You just have to master them. It's like that old cliche, easy to pick up, difficult to master. That is Bloodborne. So I hope this video helps you to decide whether or not you want to purchase Bloodborne. And if you can't decide right now, that's okay. Just do a little bit more research, watch some streams. Just be careful not to spoil too much of it for yourself. $60 is pretty expensive for a game, so even if you want to take some time and wait for a price drop, that's cool too. Whatever you have to do to make an informed decision without spending too much of your money, that is the path that you should take. But Bloodborne does get my recommendation, and this is a game that I know I will not muscle through over a weekend and that I can enjoy at a very steady pace for a long time. So thank you so much for watching, and until next time, I'm Jeremy, and I will talk to you later.